Zoran Mola curses the day he agreed to work on this bridge. The contractor was a well-known road-building company, CPL, which had been working for the city of Ljubljana on a 20-year exclusive contract. Mola thought it looked like a surefire thing. And small firms like his can't really afford to be too picky.
My
people worked on this bridge for 3.5 months, 10 of them a day on average. Then I invoiced CPL for more than 40,000 euros, but they only paid 2,800. When the bridge opened, the mayor said this was the only project for which all the subcontractors were paid. He knew that wasn't true, because my lawyer had already informed him that we hadn't been paid.
Legal proceedings ended in Mola's favor. CPL was required to pay. But nothing happened because the company was on the brink of financial ruin by that time. The courts declared CPL bankrupt. The company's yard looks abandoned. The vehicles no longer have number plates. But Mola suspects that CPL is still removing building materials from the site. He has filmed trucks leaving the company's complex at night. He gave the video to the police, but they weren't interested.
Apparently, it's okay for them to steal. But if you make a video of them stealing, then you're breaking the law. You can't film that. I went to the police and said they've been taking away road salt, but they didn't investigate the matter until the next day. Then the police admitted that salt had been taken.
We spoke to an insider who confirmed that at CPL, materials were repeatedly siphoned off and employees put to work on other unofficial jobs. He says he can't go into more detail because he's been threatened.
The irregularities will come out at the trial or in the bankruptcy proceedings. Then all these crooked dealings will come to light.
The sports stadium in Ljubljana is reportedly another example of corruption. People say it's another construction project in which the mayor of the city was the major contractor and wanted to build a monument to himself. Prosecutors are investigating the matter. It's certainly another case where almost all the building companies involved have gone bust. In Maribor, some Slovenes have responded to another apparent case of corruption by taking the law into their own hands. A radar speed camera was vandalized after it emerged that the company contracted to set them up had received the lion's share of the fines. For weeks now, the growing spate of corruption cases has led to demonstrators taking to the streets. At this protest, more than 20,000 people turned out. Slovenia hasn't seen demonstrations this big since it sought independence from Yugoslavia. The politicians who came into office then are still in power today. But journalist Uroš Škerl-Kramberger from the daily newspaper Dnevnik says they've lost the voters' support.
People feel that the politicians have lost touch with the people and their needs. 20 years ago, Slovenia was born based on a consensus between the people and politicians. Today, this consensus no longer exists.
The protesters no longer trust the government or the political class as a whole. In their eyes, the state has become a big self-service shop designed to serve politicians.
Why am I here? Because they've stolen my country, that's why. I want it back, not for me, but for my children.
We want these things to change. There are no values anymore, and everything is just a big lie.
This man has unleashed political shockwaves. He's the head of the country's anti-corruption authority. Goran Klemencic publicized the fact that the mayor of Ljubljana can't explain where some 2 million euros of his assets came from. And that's not all. Slovenia's prime minister has 200,000 euros in his private account that can't be explained either.
Because we took the hard way, not look
not looking into some middle-level public servants or politicians, but we started looking at the assets of top politicians in Slovenia, there was a shock. It was a shock that basically an institution did its job.
Some suspect that the allegations were politically motivated, intentionally designed to force Prime Minister Janez Janša out of office.
No. The timing on this was just too good to be true. It could have been published either before or later, but instead it was placed to have the maximum effect.
But even a change of government in Slovenia will not alter things overnight. The battle against corruption is only just beginning.
The report of the Commission should not be taken as a sign that the Rechtsstaat, the rule of law, is working in Slovenia. It is now the cornerstone of the testing stone of what will be further reactions, whether the rule of law really exists.
All that Zoran Mola has left is a small office. He had to fire 27 people, but he says he isn't about to give up.
I've been left with nothing. I have to start again from scratch, with people I can trust, friends. Slovenian government contracts aren't worth the paper they're written on.
Some say no matter who governs in future, the fight against corruption is what will make or break the Slovenian state.